All right, everybody, welcome to the 200th episode of The
Woo!
Blind View. Your host, Rebecca S. Meadows, is not here yet, but she's running late. She will be here. So here is the Brandonator and Anya.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hello, peeps. I hope everyone is doing great on this fantastic Christmas. New Year's Eve. Well, Eve, I should say. It's like-
right, right. I tell you, I saw a thing on TV today where I think this was either over in New York or New Jersey. They were having a thing where it was like say goodbye to 2025, and like you would get this paper and you'd write on it what you were saying goodbye to. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
yeah, it is. It's for New Year's. I don't know how you feel, Brendan, but for me, knowing the history where I'm from of that region, New Year has always been like a huge celebration. And when Christmas here is over, so I kind of flip a switch and like go into New Year's in mode, just because we have lots of songs. You guys have hardly any. Only
Yeah, I have Odd Lang Syne. Everybody knows one called Odd Lang Syne,
yes, that one.
which is a good song. But you guys have a lot though, huh?
Yeah, we do quite a lot actually. And it's really good because we keep celebrating not only the first, it goes on, like basically our season starts in the end of December and it goes into mid-January. So it
Oh, so it's kind of like Jewish people have Hanukkah, right? And that's a multi-day celebration. But for you guys, New Year's is kind of a multi-day celebratory event.
Yeah, because Christian Orthodox, they celebrate Christmas on January 7th. um
Uh-huh.
for us it was you know we open up with a new year, and then Christmas kind of becomes secondary.
Huh. But that's kind of neat though, because yeah, like you said, it kind of rolls into the Christmas celebration, right?
Yeah, it does. Well, the thing is that when the Bolsheviks, the Soviets, took over, they wanted to get rid of Christmas. Actually, we just recently read an interesting article about that. Somebody was actually going chronologically, like describing, explaining how things were back then. So
Okay.
they really wanted to get rid of Christmas of the 25th because they wanted secular nation, because the government is your god, that's that's what they wanted
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
basically. But they didn't flat out get rid of it. They still kept the Christmas tree idea, and instead of Santa, we had uh, Dead Moroz, which translates into Grandpa Frost. So
Ah.
yeah, and he travels with his granddaughter, like
Uh-huh.
kind of a Snow White, this granddaughter that is usually very cute and playful, and then they would put different plays for the kids. And Dead Moroz shows up with the granddaughter, and then they have some contests for kids and some performances, and kids tell poems, like recite poems to him, and he would give you a gift for that. So
Ah.
yeah, so and then again, this comes from the Santa idea, and Stalin decided, like, well, it's not so bad to keep this fatherly figure of this Grandpa Frost, and they would say, like, especially in the 20s and in the 30s of last century, like he would ask kids, like, well, look what all you got. Who should we be grateful for? Of course, to Comrade Stalin.
Wow, you went way pretty far back. Given where we are now, yeah. So that was in the 1920s and 1930s.
Right after the revolution, when things were changing rapidly. Yeah, and then that they kind of slowly started making a bigger deal. So people would prepare nearly all year because of the deficit, like shortages for food. Um,
Uh,
so people would start hunting down different delicacies, like some foods that would be hard to come by, especially like in December or so. So people would buy something in the summer, like if they found a say can of pineapples, and they go, "Oh, I'm gonna grab it right now, so I can keep it till New Year's, so we can put it on the table." You know?
huh. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, because I know, and this could be. I don't like history is not my strong suit, but I know that there was the potato famine. I remember that, but that wasn't Russia. That was the Polish, I think.
No, well, they
Um,
didn't have potato famine, but they had famine, like when people didn't have anything to eat.
so Russia kind of went through that too.
In 1933, yeah, it was a huge famine. Millions of people died. I mean, the cities had some provisions, but people in villages, like smaller towns, they were all starved.
And
Yeah.
what was that?
Well, now they're saying it was artificially caused because they were selling from what I know from the sources that I know. And again, history is not my biggest thing either. But what they were trying to do to sell bread, like the wheat,
Uh
uh,
huh.
abroad to get dollars, to get currency, to get going. So they were starving their own people by taking their bread away from them and selling overseas.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, it
W-
was pretty ugly.
Well, and I mean to correlate that, with modern times, I never knew that Ukraine was considered the breadbasket of the world. That's one of its nicknames anyway.
Yes, that's
Um,
true. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so uh, that was crazy, and something that I've been reflecting on over the weekend and a little bit into today is just kind of all the craziness. I don't mean to be doomy gloomy, but all the craziness that happened in 2025. And two things that I did not know about was there was a terrible, like, I don't remember if it was a tidal wave or a tsunami actually that hit Australia. I don't remember hearing about that. But then the other thing was, I guess there's really, really ugly, very brutally violent fighting in Sudan. And I was like, wow, I didn't hear about that either. That's terrible.
No,
Um,
I don't know about Sudan, but I do know about Australia because my friend, uh, she came to the States in March, but that happened probably in February or early March,
uh-huh.
because she was there when this all happened. A lot of people lost electricity, and the roads were flooded. Like it was pretty crazy back then.
Yeah. Yeah. And what this video was pointing out is that people said the sound, of the destruction of the ocean, it just sounded like roaring. And it's like, wow, man, that's crazy. I don't remember hearing about that. But
Yeah,
I I'm
you know.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's good things to remember about 2025, but also definitely things to send off too, though.
Well, every year has its own struggles and challenges and misfortunes, as well as good stuff. You know.
Yeah. 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 In fact, did you hear today? I can't believe I can't believe the arrogance of Iran. If they're actually going to try something, it's like, oh my gosh, did you guys? How quickly you dumbasses forget? I mean, we just knocked the hell out of you in what was that? September, October, and it's like, and now you're going to make us do it again. Like, did you hear what Trump said? Iran better make a deal. That I think they want to make a deal, and they really better make a deal.
No, I don't think I heard that. But this is one of the highlights of this year that we have Trump in the White House, which is huge.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I'm again. I think I've mentioned this before, but I just have to reiterate. I really I don't know. The political landscape is really interesting right now. More like unstable than I would prefer, But I really hope that Trump will pivot to more domestic issues in 2026. But what I'm worried about, what do you think about that? What I'm worried about is that he's going to go campaign again, because of the midterms, And I'm just kind of worried that when the big man is out the house, literally physically out of the White House, some people are going to sneak in, try to do some sneaky stuff.
I don't know. Is it common for presidents to campaign before the midterms?
No, I mean I don't think so. Normally,
Yeah.
that's left to the candidates in each state.
Right. Yeah, I don't really know if he will. He might endorse people, which he probably likely will do. But to campaign per se, I don't know.
I hope he takes it easy if he does. Maybe like two rallies a month, maybe. But yeah, it because I have to say our majority. I think you're more right, as am I, than left, and so our majority is not what it once was. So I don't know. These midterms are going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, Democrats put themselves in a corner again. I mean, with all this Somali fraud in Minnesota, it's just thanks to X, then people hear about this more. Have you seen this investigative documentary by Nick Shirley, the journalist in Minnesota?
No.
Yeah, so
I don't think so. What? No, I don't think. But that will let me segue into it. But no. But what are you talking about?
say that again.
Well, I don't think I've seen the one by Nick Shirley. But what? Because what are you talking about? What is that in reference to?
Oh, about the fraud in Somali, like they, especially like in daycare. So they pretend they open daycare. They shovel money to themselves from the state, but there's no services provided. Like they don't. Yeah, so the daycares are empty. And then I didn't actually finish watching it because it's 43 minutes, so I'm gonna do it after dinner or something. But I saw the beginning of it and I read about it. So it's pretty crazy, and the journalists show up and then say, hey, how come we never seen any kids, like any kiddos whatsoever? And you can't come in, like you can. So there's only a couple of dudes sitting there in the office and nothing else. And they were renting the building and they had two different daycares registered under the same address. So they're running as two.
And I did see a video, kind of what you're talking about. I did see a video where some not reporters, but just like citizen journalists, right? There was two of them. Actually, one of them might have had credentials. I can't remember. But they showed up and they were like, hey, where are the kids? Because this is supposed to be a daycare. But I don't ever see any kid. Where are the kids at? And the one person was like, kind of like stuttering a little bit. But then their supervisor just came in and was like, just shut the door, just right straight shut the door. Didn't give an answer, didn't give anything, just literally shut the door, shut them out, didn't answer a single question. It's like, wow, like that's not suspicious.
And again, you see how the corporate media reacts. Like they don't even cover this story. Like they keep saying alleged fraud, whereas everybody knows it's not alleged. They say like Kash Patel said they are looking into it. So they basically quote him talking about the fraud, but they did not investigate themselves. Like they're not doing. They're super freaking lazy and partisan, and they don't like. They don't do any work whatsoever. And if it was not true, somebody would have come out, even from those daycares, say, hey, listen, what are you talking about? Here's our business. We have clientele. We have kids. Like, shut up.
Right. I think if you were actually helping kids, you would be happy to show that. And right, and you would have interviews with the parents that would say, oh, it saved me so much time, and I'm so thankful that my kids are well taken care of. Yeah, but you don't see any of that.
No, absolutely not. So, and the same story goes for the transportation companies. So there's something called non-emergency medical transportation.
Okay.
It's in every state. I work with those companies too. Like when people call to book the ride, I translate for them.
Uh-huh.
But again, so supposedly in Minnesota, there's like over 1,000 transportation companies registered, and
Wow.
800 some of those companies are Somali owned. So, and nobody has ever checked whether the services have been provided. They just write a check. They cut a check and done. So, and this guy in this documentary, he was talking about how he saw those uh, drivers like driving by themselves, never ever a single passenger in there. So,
Wow.
yes, so they screwed over Minnesota over $8 billion, $8 to $10 billion over the years.
But conservatively, $8 billion with a B dollars.
Yes, exactly. Billion.
I mean, do you know how much good $8 billion could have done for, I don't know, veteran-owned businesses or women-owned businesses or minority-owned businesses? $8 billion. I mean, wow, that is astounding.
It is larger than Somali GDP.
Wow, that is like I said, astounding. That is I mean, staggering.
I know,
wow.
and people should be mad as hell. Like everybody, conservatives, liberals, everybody should be mad because liberals also pay taxes.
Of course.
Yeah, but somehow the stories like these get played down by the media, and yeah, so there's not much outrage. And again, thanks to Twitter or X for allowing people talk and post information and evidence. Yeah.
For sure. Because I do scroll X from time to time, and sometimes I even repost things. And right, I also like platforms like X and Reddit. I like Reddit too.
What's that? I don't think I know.
Reddit is basically just like a it's kind of like X. It's just basically a platform but it's more, instead of like individual posts, there's more topics, right? So you'll have like reddit.com/r/cats or reddit.com/r/Greek cooking. You know what I mean? And so they'll just be topics, and people will just go in there and post whatever they want on that topic. And so it's more of like a forum. Do you know what I mean by a forum?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more that setup. But I'll finish later after the commercial.
All right.
The audio screw up is on Brandon.
I know I don't need to remind you of what you must already be thinking. What any man in your position would be thinking at this moment.
You scream? Will you try anything? I want to cut up that pretty little face of yours.
Your father thinks he's being a hero. He ain't.
What you need to be asking yourself right now is, am I the kind of man to allow my wife to be violated? Or my young son? Over money? What kind of man are you?
Whatever you came here for, you won't get.
Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
All right.
Yeah, here we are back. It's kind of weird to hear Becca and then coming back and she's not here.
Well, just to finish, I just was going to say I do like platforms that allow something that in America we have, and I don't take for granted though, but that allow the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression and the free exercise of religion and the press.
Yeah,
I just
we do have all that, but it seems like the media, who's supposed to be non-biased, ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean, they seem to be playing by the old rules. Like, I mean, they comply comply with all those, rules. Being partisan, they don't report on their side, so to speak. And that's why those independent journalists, independent platforms are very good.
Well, and I don't know when that really switched, because I think there was a point in time, or a period of time, I should say, when journalists actually were journalists. So I don't know when it became so partisan. I don't think it's always been that way, but it's probably been that way for longer than I am aware. But now, I mean, but even it's kind of like everything. It's kind of like all of the people that are advocating for their various rights, right? Like in the 1990s, for example, and even the early 2000s, we didn't have Pride Week or Pride Month or Pride Parades. We didn't have that, but now we do. So now it's just very, very glaringly overt. And I would have thought that maybe interacting with the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, would have made them kind of be like, okay, like now it's okay. We can go back to traditional classical journalistic principles because, Caroline Leavitt is letting all these new people in. So, whether we like it or not, she's going to let all these new people in. So we better adjust. But I think some of them have not.
Yeah, that's true. But there was no, maybe they were independent journalists back then, which we didn't really hear much about, and they didn't discover anything crazy that media would be covering. Hiding. But take James O'Keefe. You know that guy, right?
Yeah, O'Keefe Media Group. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what he discovered, which reminds me of this documentary we were just talking about the Somali fraud. It took one independent journalist to start investigation and interview people and find out. And O'Keefe, in his time, a couple of years ago, maybe even last year, when he was trying to expose this platform, Act Blue, the Democratic fundraising platform. I don't know if you know about that, but he actually went door to door, because what happens is you can make some donations to the site. It can't be like big donations or something. So what happened was he noticed that a lot of people were making donations like every day, and seniors or some people who kind of didn't make sense that they would be doing that. And so he went to those houses, and people denied, like saying that they never made donations. So Democrats were trying to bring in some dirty money, maybe even from overseas, and using the names of the people who have ever donated before, or just registered Democrats. And it looks very suspicious when 79-year-old grandma who lives off of her SSI would make $10-15 donations twice a day to the Democrat
Party. Yeah.
So he exposed that scandal, and it kind of, I don't know what happened after that. I think they still have that platform.
Oh, I certainly hope so. And what I like about the O'Keefe Media Group is that they were trying to hire people that wanted to be citizen journalists, and they would give them hardware to do that, to go and just report in whatever style they wanted to, but just report like what is going on, what actually is going on.
Yeah. Yeah, since the
And
media doesn't want to do it, then somebody has to.
Hey guys, Becca's here. I don't know if we can hear her. Becca? Becca, tap your microphone. Remember you have a mute on the microphone?
oh well, I thought for a minute there.
Touch it again. I think you almost.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much for starting the show without me. I'm so sorry I'm late.
No
No,
problem.
But
That's
what
all
you
right.
guys were talking was what I wanted to talk about. Isn't it disgusting what's been going on in Minnesota?
Well, that's what we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and I mean, and I don't, to be clear, again, I don't think it's all Somalians, but man, the ones that are doing this, and I would say the officials, the United States officials, state officials, county officials, city officials, they ought to be punished as well.
I think the officials who are in on it or who are aware of it and who've been letting it slide, they're much more liable than the civilians who are participating, I think. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, they could have stopped it in the beginning if they wanted to, but they just let it go for years.
Yeah.
Well, and especially, and that's what I was trying to point out to you, Anya, because I didn't know whether you did or didn't know, but see, as blind people, as certifiably, legitimately, bona fide, authenticated, credentialed people with disabilities, as adjudicated by administrations and courts of law, blind people in this country of America, we don't get away with that kind of crap.
Yep.
And people unfortunately and inaccurately are very fearful of us and are very hesitant to hire us. I mean, it's not comfortable to be blind in America, but I mean, so you would think that if anybody, we would get more than what we give, and we don't, and we're highly scrutinized too.
Yeah, I know, and because we all know it's done on purpose. They brought these fraudulent people in from the third world country so that they get the base that they needed them to vote for the Democrats.
Well, by bringing in the mass number of people they've done a lot of terrible things to our country. They've diminished the value of the votes of American citizens.
Yes.
They've overwhelmed so many of our social services. They've done so many other things by bringing
healthcare services.
Yeah, all of our social services, all the services that Americans depend on every day, the services that Americans have worked for and built for 250 years, those are the services that they're taking advantage of,
Yeah, well, and I think they're directly culpable for the reason that literally a Tylenol or an aspirin in the hospital costs $30.
Yes, everything's outrageously priced because of it.
Yeah, and that's because we're subsidizing the free health care of people who don't even legitimately deserve it.
And not only do they not deserve it, but they're also not contributing to it. They're not contributing taxpayers.
Right.
Yeah. So when you have a lot of people that aren't contributing, but who are leeching off the system, it's not good.
Yeah,
it's really not.
Like I was saying earlier, everybody should be mad about it, but they just not. And did you guys hear about the judge? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago when she dismissed the case, even though there was enough evidence to show there was fraud with Medicaid? And she just, she said it's all. I didn't read her.
Guys. Yes, the judges are way out of hand, and in a lot of levels of our government, both state government and federal government, we have a lot of issues. And the best thing I can say is Americans need to get involved in our government. All of us do, blind and sighted. We need to start getting involved in our government and taking an interest to make things better, because there's corruption at so many levels.
No, you're right, and that kind of Anya was mentioning. Nowadays, you can be a single citizen journalist. You know, she was talking about a documentary that got started by a single solitary citizen journalist, and that's impressive and that's encouraging to me.
Yeah.
And it had like 108 million views. That
Oh
documentary.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on
Wow.
YouTube. If
What
you
is it
guys
called?
type, you can type Nick Shirley. It's his name.
Okay.
Nick Shirley is Shirley.
Yeah.
And then first that pops up, it says, I investigated the fraud in Minnesota. It's a
Oh.
43-minute long documentary. I watched only part of it. I just didn't have time, but I'm gonna watch it this evening.
Oh, okay.
Well, and do you guys? This is kind of going down a little bit different rabbit hole, but where do you guys fall as far as Candace Owens is concerned?
I haven't. I used to adore Candace Owens, but I haven't watched her in a few years, and I've been hearing rumors about stuff that went on after Charlie Kirk died, or possibly around his assassination, and some of it involved Candace. And I haven't been able to do my own research on it to find anything out. What do you guys know about what Candace has done?
I think Candace went nuts. I don't know.
I'm with you on it. Either that, or sadly, she might be being used. You know, because for example, like I'll just point out, she mentioned that a bunch of Egyptian planes were around the Charlie Kirk event, but it turns out no, that was fake. Those weren't even valid plane numbers. Those weren't even valid flight. No, that was. So it made Candace look really bad, you know, and.
Well, she started losing me when she started this aggressive accusations against
Like Prince Charlie?
No. The French president's wife, trying to prove that she's actually a man.
What? I didn't hear anything about that. I've been kind of out of the loop. I haven't been following Candace. Like I said, I need to do some research. Are you okay, Brandon?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Are you laughing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's just, it sounds funny to hear that. But you know, I heard that the Macrons actually have a hit out. You know, an assassination hit out on Ken, and that's sad.
Are you serious? On Candace?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh,
They have what? I'm sorry.
A hit order, a kill order, an assassination.
On Candace.
Oh, but that's what Candace said, or what did you hear it from?
Yeah, that is what, and that's what I'm saying. That's what's so crazy about Candace, because it's like on the one hand she appears to show proof, but on the other hand it's like it feels kind of like we can't always trust the proof that she shows, because if it's manufactured and given to her, or if it's given to her as being authentic, but somebody actually knows that it's not. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because right here in Arizona, now she's saying something about, oh, I know there were people that met at Fort Huachuca, and it's like, okay, well, what do you have to support that, Candace? So I don't know. That's a crazy thing.
So it sounds like she's making a lot of off the wall accusations with little to no proof. Is that what she's
yeah, or doctored evidence or something. But I don't know that she's the one doctoring it.
Yeah, well, Candace, like I said, I haven't listened to her in a few years, but she always seemed to be level-headed before. But it sounds like she kind of went off the deep end, maybe. So I really need to look her up and check out some of her videos, see what she's.
Well, a lot of people say that she's onto something, but a lot of people also think that she is a nutcase. So I don't know. I don't know where I stand, because I stopped watching her a while back.
Is she trying to prove that Charlie's assassination was not exact, like that the guy that was caught for it wasn't actually guilty, or that there was some kind of inside job, or what exactly is she saying about Charlie Kirk's assassination?
She's trying to say something that it's a foreign government's job, like foreign government's influence, and she ties it to Jews somehow. I don't freaking know. Like, you have to be following and see what she's saying. But a lot of people are disappointed with her.
Yeah,
Well, and I'm actually not saying that I don't have questions myself, because for example, like if we just consider, I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't feel organically like Tyler Robinson could have physically done all that fast and that clean. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't ask questions, but like as far as I know, she is now she being Candace Owens is now trying to claim that somehow Turning Point USA was involved, and that's why they went to Fort Huachuca and met with these people to again, create a hit order, and it's like, what are you saying, Candace? Like, I don't know, it's crazy, but
is Erica Kirk commenting on anything Candace says?
Well, actually, I haven't seen this talk, but I think she actually did talk to her fairly recently, like within the past 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know what they had to say to each other, but I did hear about their conversation.
Has Erica commented to the media about what Candace is implying and saying? Like,
I'm not really sure.
I mean, I think I saw her either yesterday or the day before say something about, all these conspiracy theories. Like, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah, that's what Erica Kirk said.
Yeah.
And I heard her say that.
And that says a lot to me. If Charlie's widow is not interested in looking into it or pursuing it, it kind of tells me that there's probably nothing to it.
Yeah.
I think his widow would want to pursue it if there was any legitimacy to whatever Candace is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys, like, FBI is still, like, I don't know what's going on with their investigation. And they couldn't find that shooter. So the parents turned him in. So it tells me a lot. Like, what parents would turn their child in if they weren't sure? But they recognized him on cameras, and they turned him in. But FBI couldn't find anything. Like, I wouldn't trust FBI even under Cash Patel to catch a cold. I mean, they've been so...
Sadly, right? I know. I feel like Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, like, I don't know what happened, but I think they're compromised somehow, some way. I think.
I heard that Bongino is leaving, though. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
I wonder why that is. I heard some speculation that he saw so much corruption in there, like, and he just couldn't deal with this anymore. He's like, okay, screw it, I'm leaving. But I don't know for sure.
Well, and I mean, and I don't really blame it. I mean, imagine, imagine, I don't know, trying to dissolve the IRS or the FDIC. It's like, wow. I mean, these have been pillars of the American bedrock for decades, hundreds of years, And so in this case, if it's the FBI, if it's the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I mean, imagine having to tear that down and either rebuild it or do away with it altogether. I mean, that's an audacious idea.
Yeah, because we have a lot of, like, we have a huge mess in our society, including such agencies, important agencies, where we have so many unqualified, incompetent people. Like, even after you guys heard about this Brown University shooting, when they killed this leader of Young Republicans on campus, but they could not. Even 2 days later or something, they did not interview everybody. They did very sloppy job, like, and the reason they have this guy is because the person who lived in the same building turned him in or something. So it was not like they.
Well, but isn't it ironic? Because this is the same FBI that was very quick to arrest, grandmothers for being in the vicinity of January 6th. Isn't that ironic? It's the same FBI.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
know.
point.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy. Like, I mean, they don't do their job very well. And for some reason there are no cameras. Like, the what president of the university said, oh, we just didn't have cameras there, or something. Like, although they were asked a long time ago to have cameras placed everywhere, but you know why they didn't? Well, because there was so much pro-Palestine protests and some crazy shit going on, so they did not want to be captured on cameras. So somehow they lobbied the university not to put cameras in many places on campus.
Well, don't you guys think it's curious that the incident just happened to occur in an area of the campus that was not under videotape surveillance? It's like maybe it was an inside job and the people who committed the crime knew that they wouldn't be surveilled.
But I still put it on the FBI though, because what about cell phone pings? What about geolocation? What about streetlight cameras? What about, come on, you're the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Come on.
Yeah, so the guy shoots and he leaves, walk off campus where should be hundreds of cameras capturing him. And he goes somewhere, gets in a car, and goes. It's just crazy. And then seems like a pretty simple task to catch somebody.
Which, by the way, in a car they have license plate readers. They get read everywhere.
You just have to do a little bit of work. Sounds like they didn't want to catch him.
I mean, it's crazy.
That is a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. See how news cycles go. Like, people talked about that incident all last week, and now, like, I don't even see anything about that anymore. So we don't know how those stories end.
No, and I mean, like, what we're focusing on right now. I didn't watch the remarks, but I know President Trump met with Benjamin Netanyahu today, but I think concerning a different region, I think that the president of the USA is growing more and more suspicious of Vladimir Putin. I think he doesn't seem to be giving accurate information. So, but again, see, this is all international stuff, and I'm not so interested in that. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Israel is supposed to have one of the most advanced, well-equipped military forces in the world. So it's like, okay, come on, Israel. Flex your muscles a little bit. Why you always have to drag us into your problem? You want to fight? Go handle it. Like,
yeah, well, because U.S. has been like everybody's big daddy, Like, always everybody comes to the U.S. For help. But what did you say about Putin? You said Putin is not telling the truth or something? What was it about?
Well, yeah. Well, because President Trump is also trying to, continuing to try to make some kind of progress where, Russia and Ukraine are concerned. But, Putin will, it's like he'll say one thing and then do another. And I don't think that's going to bode well for Vladimir Putin. And I don't mean to, sound threatening, but it's like, look, we'll just stop all your money then. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, the U.S. is not helping Russia though.
Well, but we'll do even less. We'll just but because Vladimir Zelensky also hasn't been the most honest, and he's been quite disrespectful in the past. And it's like, okay, you know what? Like, you guys better just watch out, because Trump might just walk, and then Russia and Ukraine can fight it out with zero affiliation from America.
That's what I want to happen. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all our influence of us being involved over there and everything it's costing us.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds harsh, but, if Russia bombs the crap out of Ukraine, well, too bad. If Ukraine uses all the technology that we as America have given them and really, really hurts Russia, well, too bad. Call China, Russia. You're buddy-buddy with China. You're buddy-buddy with Iran. Call your stupid other colleagues and manage it yourself. Again, manage it yourselves. I'm tired of so much foreign involvement. I'm tired of it.
But you're saying as though U.S. is helping Russia in some way. U.S. is helping Ukraine.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But if Trump backs out of the deal, we won't help anybody because it's.
I know that America is supposedly helping Ukraine, but I, for one, am getting tired of listening to President Trump whine about how he doesn't understand why Putin's not listening to him because he wants it a certain way, and for some reason Putin's not doing it. What happened to the fury of the United States?
Yeah, yeah.
Trump doesn't sound very fierce. Doesn't, you know what I mean? When he talks about Putin, I'm really getting tired of hearing about how frustrated Trump is because Putin's not doing what he wants. Putin knows what he wants, but Putin's just not doing it. I'm getting really sick of that. I like President Trump, but this doesn't seem like the way he normally acts, where he's acting like he's helpless and just waiting for another world leader to decide to do something,
Oh, he can tell him, hey, do it my way. Like, Putin's going to say, okay, screw you, like.
Well, then I say then maybe it's about time for some SEALs or some guys who have been trained to go in and take Putin out. He's been a terror, like a monster on the world stage for a long time.
Well, I disagree with that. He's been painted as a monster. All we heard during the Biden time and the Obama time, Putin is terrible, Putin. Whereas U.S. has started this war. U.S. poured billions of dollars into this conflict. Started it. Now Ukraine has become a battlefield. It's a proxy war. Everybody knows it's a proxy war. The U.S. fighting with Russia, and Trump wants to put an end to it. But people are so much into this already, so deeply. So many people have been dead.
Well, if Trump figures out how to cut off the supply of American money to Ukraine, maybe the war will just have to come to an end.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. I think that's why he said, let it be the European conflict.
And again, like the U.S. has donated more money to Ukraine than any other nation, and I just don't feel like Vladimir Zelensky has really put it to the best use. I mean, it certainly doesn't seem like it.
Oh, absolutely not.
I agree.
There's some corruption investigation over there. Some heads were taken down because of that. But again, they're covering for each other. They accused some guy. They found
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
I told you we were lost.
Hello?
Gonna have to reset this leg, my young friend.
Where's Mateo?
He never came. They never showed up.
We're happy to help people like you, but it isn't safe to be out there wandering.
I see you two enjoyed our world-famous ribs.
How many times have I told you, kids? No cartoons after sundown.
I don't know what kind of sick fucking games you two are playing down here. Carol and I really liked you two.
Hey, thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen. Is everybody back?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to resolve this issue overnight here. I wish we could. Oh, yeah. I'll finish this thought and we can change the topic if you guys want. But they're covering for each other. So this guy got busted. Actually, not just one guy. A couple of guys got busted for having laundered so much money. Like so much cash was found. And when they came to search his apartment, he had left. So, like, he had some kind of warning. So he left the Ukraine, and then only the following day they went to search his apartment, and they let him run first. That sounds pretty suspicious to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I certainly hope that for all of us, us on this podcast, and if you're an ethical person, then for you too. That 2026 is a good year. I don't lose any sleep over the news. I try to at least know what's going on in the world, just at least to be aware, But I really think though that I could go a week without tuning into the news and personally be fine.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. In fact, it is recommended. It's a healthy thing to do sometimes, not to read the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think taking a break from the news is really good for everybody's sanity from time to time.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless
but
you have emotional intelligence and you don't freak out about everything like liberals do.
sometimes I just feel like I have to go turn the news on just because I really want to know what's going on in the world, though, because I don't like being in the dark.
Yeah. I read news every day though. I never take breaks because again, like I don't react super emotionally, unless something really crazy is happening, like really, really crazy. But just to watch regular news cycle and people screaming and fighting, and it's like okay, whatever.
Well, I did hear though, just again, this is like an example of why I do pay limited attention to it. Tyler Robinson's next court date is January 16th. So,
okay.
I just saw, and that was per a judge today. He was talking about, basically not everything should be sealed, but some portions should be sealed. But there is an immense amount of national and international interest and intrigue about the case.
Mm-hmm.
So, January 16th, I guess, just shortly after the new year begins. So.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of New Year, so do you guys want to share before the show ends how you planning to spend the New Year's?
Do you guys want to go first?
Well, I could go.
Oh, go ahead.
First. I think I'd like to do something here in the city of Phoenix. Maybe go somewhere celebratory. I'm not quite sure where yet. But I know though that there are multiple kind of New Year's Eve parties and stuff at various places. So I definitely don't want to just stay home. I want to get out and go somewhere.
And I'm planning on spending it with my new boyfriend, but we probably won't stay in all night. We'll probably go out and do something too.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, because it's New Year's Eve. There's bound to be lots of fun stuff happening in town. So.
Well, tell us about. We're gonna also stay home. We're not doing very much. I prefer staying home, watching TV, Russian TV than American TV, watching the ball drop. But tell us about your new boyfriend, if you don't mind, if you willing to.
His name is Tim, and he's about 10 years older than me. He's a veteran. He had a TBI last June, and so he's dealing with that. But I'm helping him a little bit with it because I've had my TBI for a long time. But he's a really great guy, and he's got 2 dogs that are like medium to large dogs, like my dogs are, and our dogs. We just recently introduced the dogs, and the dogs are getting along really great. And I just adore Tim. I think about him all the time, and when we're together, every moment is so exciting and precious.
Oh, that's good. But
yeah.
How long have you guys been dating?
We've known each other for maybe 2 weeks now.
Let me ask you this, Becca. How do you handle dating? Do you do the online thing at all, or are you totally offline, or do you have a hybrid model, or how do you handle it?
I have a hybrid model, basically.
Okay.
I did meet Tim off of Facebook dating, though.
Oh yeah, you like that platform, Facebook dating?
I do. I really do, because you're able to see the person's Facebook profile as well and get information about them, and and you're able to like communicate on the app. And since we already know that the Facebook app is accessible, like I used to do the Plenty of Fish app, and it wasn't 100% accessible. But since Facebook is already accessible, the dating app is pretty accessible, So that's one thing I really like about Facebook dating, is that it's so accessible.
And doesn't that also let you look? I mean, not that I would know, but I just heard people say, doesn't that let you look for people like in your city and stuff too?
Yeah. that's another reason why Facebook dating I think is really cool, because it can connect you with singles in your area who are also on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really cool. But then you take it offline, like when you go meet up for coffee or whatever.
oh yeah.
Cool.
You can message on the app, but you can also, once you message each other on the app for a while, you can exchange phone numbers and then talk on the phone more often, and then you can make plans to meet in person, stuff like that. So yeah, it's really.
I know my single guy friends often tell me that on various platforms, and I don't know if Facebook dating is like this or not, but apparently us men get hit with a lot of people that aren't even in the country, not even in this nation. It's like, wow, that doesn't. How does that work? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think a lot of the men get hit on by other men, because when I read profiles on them, like they'll say on their profile, no men responding. They'll be like really firm about it. Like, I don't want to hear from any men, and stuff like that. So it makes me think, because I see that on so many profiles, it makes me think there's a lot of like gay men on there hitting on the men.
Oh my god.
But it's weird if the heterosexual men say I'm interested in women, like.
Well,
I wouldn't think that the platform would allow homosexual people to. That's weird.
Well, and I don't remember when I first signed up my Facebook dating profile if it was this way, but I know on like Plenty of Fish, you can go on there and you can say I'm a woman seeking a man, or I'm a man seeking a man, or I'm a woman seeking a woman, or you know what I mean? So on Plenty of Fish, there is a category for man seeking man and woman seeking woman, but I don't know if I don't remember if that's on the Facebook dating also. So if it's not, they might not be able to.
Yeah.
Well, what safety precautions do you take? Like, how do you know if it's not some creep, some person with a criminal history or has some crazy plans for you? Like, I mean, how do you handle that part?
Well, just like when you meet anybody in life, so when you look, first thing you do is you look at, I look at their profile a couple of times, just get as much information from it as I can possibly glean. And if I like their profile, then I send them a message, and then we start messaging back and forth. And after we're talking on the app for a little while, one of us will suggest exchanging phone numbers, And so it's just like meeting anybody in life, except like when you first meet them, you're meeting them on a computer instead of in person, but you can quickly exchange phone numbers and start talking one-on-one, and you can make plans to meet for coffee or dinner or anything like that, right? Whenever you want. So it's really very flexible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really up to individuals what they want to do.
Well, and I've heard, do you know about this, Becca? You might, because you seem pretty up to date with stuff, but just for anybody who doesn't, I just have to preface this by saying I don't have an iOS device myself, but I know lots of people who do. And I've heard that VoiceOver now has like improved its image recognition. So I wonder if you can like share your screen with that and ask Siri, like, hey, what does my screen look like? Like when you're on their profile page. Or I mean, do you do anything like that to get a sense of like what their photos look like?
I usually ask, like I show my sister. I'll show my sister a picture and ask her to explain it to me. But I'm pretty sure that you can take a screenshot of anything like that on Facebook or Facebook dating. And I'm pretty sure that one of these apps, whether it's Be My Eyes or TapTapSee, one of those, I think they have a section for describing a portrait. So if you take a screenshot of it and send it to one of those apps, I think they'll also describe it to you. And as you know, with TapTapSee, is it TapTapSee or no, it's Be My Eyes, where you're connected live with the person. And so you could probably ask them specific questions as they're describing it to you to get more information,
Yeah. I just know, social media is kind of inherently visual. And so it's good to have some way to know,
Yeah, and so those are like my two solutions for seeing pictures and stuff online that I can't see. Like I said, I would ask my sister her opinion, or other friends that are around, or there's always those apps you can use, So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm glad it's working out for you. That's really good.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
with the new year approaching, so it's some new beginning, some new start. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, do you know? Becca, I don't know. I don't know if you can say right now, but where Tim is concerned, like, is he any more like, I don't know. I guess I would say balanced or tolerant as far as political discussions are concerned. Because
We've already discussed that, and he's conservative like me, and he was in the military, and I don't think I've met a military person yet that isn't conservative. You know what I mean?
yeah, there are some.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have to deal with any of that nonsense I dealt with previous boyfriends. So.
Well, I mean, just so you know, again, I'll just reiterate: I never meant to make friction between you and anybody else per se, but I'm not going to apologize for being me either, though. As far as I know, we were just having a discussion. Okay, I didn't mean to trigger somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you guys realize this is our last show in 2025? So
it is. You're right, Anya.
True. Yeah.
I guess we'll have to tell our viewers that we'll see them next year.
Yeah. Well,
And I think the producers of this is episode 200.
Is that 200?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought that's what he said. So.
Isn't it symbolic that the new year, the old year ends on the even number, 200 episodes have been completed? So
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, me too. It's been great. I think we have a great team, and thank you, Becca, for having it going.
Well, thank you guys for being willing to participate, because I've been doing this for several years, and I've had different people on as my co-hosts, and not everybody can continue it long term. Not everybody's really into it, and I'm glad you guys are.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate you guys because, okay, yes, I'm blind, but I still don't really feel like I didn't grow up around a lot of blind people, and so I appreciate y'all's blind view. I really do. I'm much more used to interacting with the sighted world, and it's not that I have trouble interacting with blind people. Obviously, I am blind myself, but just like in any other segment of the population, we all are unique individuals. But I appreciate y'all's blind view.
Yeah,
that's great. I agree with you. I didn't really know very many blind people after I went blind until I joined the NFB in 2014, and I went blind in 1989. So. Yeah, I know you're talking about when you're the only blind person around.
Well, but I'm glad that we all seem, though, to want to raise up other blind people, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we all know those blind people who are very hesitant to get skills or to use the skills that they ought to have, but they need to.
But each of us who's on the show, we all know that with proper training and access to proper tools, we can do anything, can't we?
Correct. Wholeheartedly agree.
Correct. Yeah. Well.
Yes.
And I hope this all continues. And I think Paul has been a great addition.
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't join us for the show. And I'm so sorry I was so late, you guys.
No problem. We had an interesting discussion, and I'm glad you made it halfway. But I think we're out of time.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us again next week.
Absolutely. But wait, is it going to be Wednesday? Because this was like a special episode. So are we going to go back to the normal time?
Next week, I think we'll be back to Wednesday at 5 p.m. local time.
Okay. All right.
As far as my understanding is, so that will be I think the 7th of January.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, you guys have a great celebration. Happy New Year, everybody, the viewers and the podcast hosts, my co-hosts.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Absolutely, you guys. I'll see you next year.
See
See you next year, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this exciting episode of The Blind View. Peace out, y'all. That's a wrap. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.